Homicide, Lieutenant Neubert speaking.
For you, Chief. It's Cornelius.
Oh, no. Stupid mind reader. I don't want to talk to him.
No harm in talking. Remember that blackmail murder case? He was a help to us.
Cross.
It's me, Cornelius. Someone's life has been threatened by a deadly foe. There's danger.
Namely?
There are two cars I see in particular, stopping for a light. The street sign, Ansaring. Danger approaches. I see two men. Calamity for one. An evil plan. Murder.
Why isn't Barter here yet? The program starts in 30 seconds.
I'm sure he'll be here. He phoned 15 minutes ago and said he had the hottest news story of the year.
Maria will have to substitute for Barter.
Right. Come on. Quiet in the studio. 2 seconds.
Maria Frank reporting. The broadcast news highlights of the day will not be able to be seen due to the death of our reporter, Peter Barter, who was found in his automobile, slumped at the wheel. It was apparently a heart attack.
Doctor? Number 12. Everything's all right. Get going. Change the license plates at once. Remove the transmitter and have the car sprayed another color. It must be shipped to Holland immediately.
Okay.
I'd like to see the doctor in person.
Who cares? He always pays us well.
Frankly, I'm curious. I wonder if I could find out what he looks like.
Yes, and end up dead. I can still see Herman. He was also curious. He must speak to the doctor in person. He sure got rewarded for it. With his throat cut.
I still want to know what the fellow really looks like. This doctor. I can't explain things like this. My visions are all too mysterious for me, Commissioner. But magic has always defied reality. I feel the disaster coming. It's a nightmare and full of places I know nothing about. The pain I go through. Yes, I suffer awfully. But I find that it's impossible to suppress the viscous black magic that permeates, foggy as a graveyard in the night under a dark cloud.
Oh, but the police have to go ahead and still strive anyway. Did you know that TV reporter, Barter?
Once or twice, about a year ago, shortly after I had settled here, he came to the apartment. He was always looking for the unusual. And he was a skeptic, like you.
A common trait in our field. The police have so little regard for magic formulae. I would say I've never known a foggy dark cloud.
The peasants of Ireland really convinced me to believe solely in the supernatural for worldly help. I can see that way. I'm afraid I see far better than many.
Perhaps. But in the Barter case, your sight, or whatever you want to call it, was a little too myopic, eh? In spite of your pronouncement of murder, Cornelius, it was simple heart attack.
Yes? Just a minute. For you.
Hello. I want a full lab report. I'll meet you in about an hour. Cornelius, the autopsy reveals Barter's is now a murder case. There was a long steel needle rammed in his head.
Material, finest iridium steel. Length, 68.4 millimeter. The steel needle entered the skull of the corpse with astounding impact, and as a result, got lodged in an area of the brain near the occipital bone.
Doctor, with all my love on our first Christmas. Corinna. Not bad. Not a scrap of paper here. They took the blotter, too.
And his recordings are all missing.
Of course. Searching for any notes Barter might have made for his TV news show. If there was anything here, you can be sure they would have found it. You won't get a fingerprint. This was a clean job. You've got only one thing, and that's a long steel needle.
A most unusual weapon, gentlemen. I have a report on it for you. An air rifle that fires steel needles noiselessly. It is a new infantry weapon, tested at Fort Benning in the United States, I'm informed. But now we come to the part that's most intriguing. Before this weapon had a chance to be put into mass production, the test model vanished into thin air, stolen. The American military intelligence found the thief, an American soldier stationed in Germany, in an old air raid shelter, with his throat cut. He had been badly beaten, obviously, but of course no trace of the weapon.
When did this happen?
Last year. Now this weapon, with its deadly charge, has been used to kill Barter.
I feel a sense of discomposure about this case. I mean, it's like I've already gone through it. It's hard to explain. What does the name Dr. Mabuse convey?
Nothing doesn't
A genius of diabolism. He wanted to terrorize and provoke all kinds of strange fears. He thought he could revolutionize Germany's government. Soon he started to feel the entire universe was his. He was finally caught, and very soon afterwards committed to an asylum. He died in 1932, completely mad. He left a will of instructions on the crimes he had planned. However, if you speak to the old hardened criminals who knew him, they all say the same thing. Dr. Mabuse isn't dead. He can never die.
Old wives' tales. What reminded you of this, what was his name again?
Mabuse. Dr. Mabuse. I had been appointed third assistant to the Bureau of Homicide, and we had a murder case that was similar. At the time, another man had been in his car and fired at the car that was next to it. The death of Barter seems to be an exact duplicate of the methods used by Mabuse.
Said he died in 1932.
Yes. I happened to be at the funeral, so I know he died. But
Never heard any of this before.
his friends, I imagine, succeeded in suppressing the criminal report.
But certainly a record of Mabuse's case must exist somewhere.
This is number 8. Turn the switch. And if you know what's good for you, be sharp.
Attention, this is Dr. Mabuse. Attention, this is Dr. Mabuse speaking. The American Henry B. Taylor has been in town for 4 days.
Mr. Taylor, the British are ready to accept your terms.
Good. Well, we accept.
But one further question. When you take over the entire stock issue of Aurora Atomic Works from us, are you representing the United States government, or will the enterprise be a strictly personal one?
It doesn't matter at all. Since I'm going to construct and build these new rockets on my private test fields in America, naturally, it's under state control.
What about the financial arrangements for this?
When my lawyers accept the contract, the entire amount will be forthcoming by check.
Sections B and C, I repeat, sections B and C are assigned to watch every move this man Taylor makes. I will expect a detailed report every 12 hours. Taylor resides in a luxury suite
on the 14th floor of the Hotel Luxor. A communication from Commissioner Cross. The television news commentator Peter Barter was reported to have been last seen at the Hotel Luxor prior to his being murdered en route to his television show.
All of the special forces are to be told that there will be a meeting for them in about 20 minutes. I will tell Commissioner Ambrose of Interpol.
First of all, let's take a look at the facts. Now, there are a number of crimes that are as yet unsolved in the department. 15 are related, I think. On the 5th day of March 1954, a Dutch plane was found just over the border of Tripoli. It had exploded. The cause, sabotage. The agents remain unapprehended. Included with those who were killed was the French bank president, Louchard. As a result of his sudden death, the stock exchanges went into panic all over the world. Louchard had been staying at a hotel here for a few days, at the Hotel Luxor, in fact. At midnight on November 3rd, 1958, Bullheim de Lannis had been found dead. De Lannis was the president of a steel company. Here's how they found him. Stabbed in the back, in the Pullman he'd been traveling on. A suitcase of blueprints was missing. He, too, had stayed at the Hotel Luxor for a while. On May 12, 1959, an Algerian arms dealer by the name of Hussein was killed instantly when a bomb in his car exploded. Hussein had, prior to his death, just left a woman of ill repute at the bar of the Hotel Luxor. And so it goes on and on. Mysterious crimes, thefts of military designs, murders, every case different, every case unsolved, and yet all related by one common factor. Each one of the victims had been staying at the Hotel Luxor. Now, the fact that these numerous cases are still unsolved makes the public scornful, and they attribute it, I'm afraid, to police stupidity. And so, for this reason, I have been forced to assign a special operator who has been spying at the Hotel Luxor since June, and whose identity is unknown to agents here. His instructions are to report only to me. He has one formal order, to wit, find out about the Luxor for us.
How could you just stand there?
If she ever does it, she'll just bounce off the bike.
Oh, she means it. Here, give me this.
Come on now, let me help you.
Please, miss, don't make trouble for us. We'll cooperate to the fullest extent. I swear it. If only you would listen.
No, you can't. You must go in here. Give the young lady a break. She is a human being. What about our job? Come on, just a couple of photos. I'm sorry, but I can't help you.
Can't you at least tell us everything you know?
I can't promote any information.
Manil. Manil. Larry and Manil. I met her this morning to sell life insurance to her. If I had, there'd been another ambulance.
Try to relax. You know what you're doing just doesn't make sense. There's no way back. You're young and quite beautiful. Yes, you should know that. Please, give life another chance. If you jump, you may not die instantly. You might linger on for months. Wake up and find that you're a cripple. Think about it.
It's hopeless. Too scared.
Give me your hand. Come, reach out to me. You can do it.
You persuaded her.
Oh, you got her hand.
Oh, my God. Otherwise, I couldn't eat any supper at all tonight.
Drink this. It'll do you good.
This is the hotel manager. Please open the door.
Oh, don't let anybody in, please.
All right.
Open the door. Please.
What is it?
I think you should go inside. Might be simpler. Michael?
All right, please
What do you expect? Mr. Taylor is visiting here from the United States. He just said. Who is he? Taylor. Taylor? No wonder he isn't. Why, of course, I'm sure that's who it is. I place him now. You rush over to the office and pick one out, a close-up of him. I'll write my report and phone it in from the hotel. That man. Who is he? The Galahad upstairs. Misselzweig. Hieronymus P. Misselzweig. P is for Punch. I'll give you a card. I can provide you with policies of all kinds. You may have one. You crime reporters need me. I sell insurance. If you sold him insurance, you'd be a rich man. No fooling. A lot of girls? Plenty. That's Travis. I guess you've heard of him.
You know, the millionaire. He seemed quite well-to-do and certainly not lacking for money. It just couldn't have been financial. She furnished us with bank credit. My first assistant might be a little more help.
Would you call him in, please?
All right.
You sure she won't do something stupid like trying again, maybe?
My secretary is back there.
Berg, they want you. Gentlemen, you can go to the bar and order anything you want in the hotel. And before the day is out, I promise that you'll know everything you want. Go ahead. All right.
Mrs. Menil wanted nothing to do with anybody. She was remote but polite. If it's any help, this afternoon there was a telegram that had arrived here for her.
You know what it said?
No. But according to the clerk at the reception desk, Mrs. Menil was so upset when she finished reading the telegram that she ran to the elevator with tears in her eyes.
I'll interrogate her personally about it.
Well, do what you want with her, only she must check out bag and baggage bindle.
It's awkward, huh?
Gentlemen, I'm violently opposed to it. Any disturbance right now could be very bad. I know you feel her mind is unbalanced, but only a psychiatrist can judge that.
But she's already attempted suicide once. She may do it again.
I'll see to it that she doesn't. I assume full responsibility. What is your name?
Berg.
Berg. You'll cooperate?
Naturally.
They've all gone. At least for a while, I've seen to it that no one will bother you. I'm anxious to help you.
Nobody can help me. Why didn't you let me? It'll be all over now.
Oh, we live in a trying world. But hope often provides us with the strength to face whatever lies in store for us. And to face it with courage. There's always a way out.
Not for me.
I would like to know. Is it money? An unhappy love affair? You know you could trust me. You did before.
I suppose I should be grateful to you. But I can't be.
Don't you feel like calling somebody who's close to you?
I don't want to see anybody. I want to go to my room.
I don't think you should stay alone.
I understand. And please call my doctor, Professor Jordan.
Yes? Where is he?
In the next room.
Professor?
I was told that Mrs. Marion Menil would be here. The Sister Agnes heard a broadcast and immediately called me at the clinic. Marion is my patient. May I see her?
She'll be very happy you're here, Professor.
Marion. I'm not going to leave you. You must leave it all up to me. And you must go to sleep now. I've got some pills. And after that, you feel better. You like Sister Agnes at the clinic, so she's going to stay with you here.
I'm sorry to be so ungrateful, but...
There. I think absolute rest is the best thing.
If you don't mind, I'd be most happy to escort Madame back.
Thank you, sir.
Professor, is the young lady a regular patient?
No, I wouldn't say that. However, about 10 months ago, she was placed in my clinic with a serious nervous breakdown.
Isn't she close to her husband? Or to anyone?
Well, I wouldn't like to be accused of being professionally indiscreet.
Of course. I can't help being concerned for her.
She's quite lonely and much too withdrawn. It's not easy to win her confidence. You did. You must have an influence over her. I mean, on her subconscious, of course. Why you were so successful in deterring her attempt is strange. However, I'm delighted with the outcome. And now, please excuse me. This kind of publicity is bad for the hotel. Hello.
How are you?
The same as always?
All right, Bundy. Quite a commotion, huh? Jumping out of windows is the only way guests can avoid paying your bill?
I fail to find the humor in it. They really put me on the spot with this story. Oh, you can all laugh about it. Boiling these reporters in oil was too good for them.
These reporters. They really do a sloppy job. Now, you take my friend Barter. He could have written circles around. Had a heart attack while driving his car.
When I was here last time, you mentioned his name.
Yeah, the best commissioner. Always a good tipper.
Mr. Burrs,
Yeah?
Mr. Parker would like to talk with you immediately.
All right. I'll be back.
Tell me, you knew Barter well?
He used to ask me about the famous guests that come here.
Especially female guests, eh?
It's very interesting what happened with this woman here. I told Barter about this, Mrs. Menil. She was here all alone, in the lounge, and he was over there. He must have been a pretty smooth operator. He went up to her room with her.
That's so. Hello? Would you be so very kind? I must speak to your mistress at once.
She's had a sedative and cannot be disturbed.
Oh. Sleeping yet?
No, not yet, but
Then please announce me.
can't you wait,
So
sir?
I can. My name is Cross. Commissioner Cross.
Commissioner Crossman, why don't they leave me alone? Please. You may go in, but you mustn't talk to her too long.
I'm so sorry to disturb you, Mrs. Menil, but it's quite important.
Please make it short. I'm not well.
Do you know a man named Barter?
Barter? No.
He was a reporter.
I never heard the name before.
Funny, I thought you might help us out.
Oh, him. He introduced himself to me downstairs in the bar. I never really did catch his name. He wanted an interview, but I refused. I'm no film star. He was terribly persistent.
You brought him upstairs with you, however.
Well, I didn't want to have a scene downstairs in the bar. When he got up here, he became downright aggressive. So much so I had to ask him to leave and not bother me anymore.
Don't worry, you won't be bothered. Barter's in no position to bother anybody now. He's dead.
That's terrible. And when you want to die, nobody will let you.
Come at once. There is no way for you to hide your guilt. It's too late. Come back before you are ruined. Well, how about it? I know that just 3 hours after picking up this cable, you wanted to jump off the roof.
How did you get that telegram? My private life is nobody's business.
When the department is involved, there's nothing very private.
Why are you torturing me like this? Leave me alone!
Please go now. She can't take it very well.
But I must speak to you about Barter again. Just got a very strange phone call about him. Meanwhile, don't leave town. Good night.
Business lately is pretty awful. Mars is responsible for all of those deaths.
What are you talking about?
I mean astrology.
As a modern businessman, I must have an open mind. I can't give somebody insurance when I know before long he's going to die. Huh? For example, we'll take your friend Bart. The clean-cut muscle type. He takes a policy, he drops dead. The papers say it's a simple heart attack. It would have been a catastrophe. My policies are sold on only one basis, astrology.
Very interesting.
What?
You knew Barter's horoscope?
This is Commissioner Cross. Oh, you don't say. Misselzweig. Hieronymus P. Misselzweig. P is for Porch. I'll give you a card. I provide safe policies for all kinds of people. Even police commissioners need me. I sell insurance.
Really? With which firm do you work?
Lloyd's London, Assurance Pay Paris, Seguros Atlantic Madrid, Convoy Hamburg. Even overseas, Misselzweig has the best contacts in the world.
That certainly sounds lucrative.
I haven't got much to complain about.
Here you are.
Let's have another drink. This round on me.
All right.
How about a little hard liquor? Anyway, it all goes on my expense account. Hey, make it one more. I bet Mr. George will join us for a drink.
I'm sorry, Mr. Spike, I'm in a hurry. Our new refrigerator hasn't been working right. I think it's a short. Have you got your key with you for the fuse room?
No, but I put an extra one in the cabinet downstairs.
I looked there. I wish you'd come with me, Bert.
Pour my drink. And a good strong one.
I suppose you've got your office here.
I'm alone. I don't need an office. My brains up here. Oh, I make use of the Luxor, but if I moved in, I'd be crazy.
Why don't you like the hotel?
Just doesn't stand a real good star. Everything the Nazis took is an unsafe omen.
And how does that apply to the Luxor?
Astral positions from birth can chart the lives of buildings as well as men. I know it.
Oh, come on. Now buildings are born?
That's what I'm saying. At just the hour they lay the cornerstone. Then the building is born. And the cornerstone for the Luxor was placed in May 44. A time when Nazis ruled. Their whole approach was quite transparent. They wanted to know that the most important of the diplomats lived beneath one roof. A pretty good home for spies, you know. Yeah. There was a curse on this place from the start.
I'll bet you've done quite well, though.
Oh, there's plenty of money to be made here if you're sharp. There's jewelry to insure, diamond rings. Often there's life insurance to boot. I make out.
My wife always talks about life insurance for me.
Life insurance for you, Commissioner, is difficult. A wrong move, and you could be stone dead. You're exposed to a very bad element, and I have to be careful. You see, I'm only trying to protect myself.
However, I want you to pay me a call soon. Tomorrow morning isn't very busy. We might just happen to bring up the Barter case. You almost insured him, huh? Mysterious man recently phoned me about him. Here's to murder.
Prosit, Commissioner.
Here. I'll be seeing you again.
A pleasure to have met you. I'll be calling on you. You can count on it.
I'm so sorry. Are you all right? I'm quite all right. But if you could help me cross this street, I'd be most indebted to you, young man.
Well, if you're not going far, I could drive you, sir.
That's terribly kind of you. I don't live far, but I'm sure you don't mind. I mean, with the dog and everything.
Not at all, not at all. Just get right.
It's so unpleasant. I hate foggy weather. Depressing. Feel evil hovering. Even though For God's sake, turn the wheel immediately.
That fellow practically rammed into us, but he missed thanks to you.
Well, what's the answer? I'm able to see into the future. You doubt me? As you were dressing this morning, a water glass toppled over. While retrieving the jagged pieces, your right finger got cut.
But I was alone when it happened. That's something nobody could know.
This morning, about 11 o'clock, you made out a check to an English bank, didn't you? I want to warn you that it will have unpleasant results.
I admit I'm curious about this. What you're saying is very significant.
I told you the truth. My mind can see into the future.
If you can divine what's in the future, why were you crossing in front of us? It might have been fatal to you.
I know my hour has not yet come.
Say, who are you?
Peter Cornelius. Welcome, Commissioner.
Why switch on the light?
I don't want you to be in the dark, too, Commissioner.
I could have been a burglar, you know.
Oh, no, I knew it was you. My dog snarled softly. That meant there was somebody here that he knew. He would have barked and warned me if there had been a burglar or a stranger waiting here. And there's your tobacco. I smelled it. It adheres to your clothing. I guess that blind people possess very sharp senses. But how were you able to get in? My butler isn't here today.
Well, I took the liberty of letting myself in. Not very nice. But it's important. A development concerning our friend Barker.
And what is this development of yours?
Well, here's the proof. Barter was murdered. It was found in his skull. I'm not getting anywhere at all. Completely stymied. I thought perhaps you might be able to be of some help. Let's see what mysticism can offer.
Darrell.
I want you to please concentrate on this object. Now, perhaps what you see will throw some light on the subject.
I see a man. He's indistinct. His face is all blurred. There's nothing more. Cloud again covering everything. It's directed against me. It's telling me to be especially careful. Evil lurks. You see, I'm personally affected in some way. Of this I'm sure. Everything on Barter should be revealed to me. All information.
Well, not much I can really tell you, as a matter of fact. There was a strange phone call, however. I don't place much importance in blind calls. A man phoned me yesterday. Wanted to talk if I granted immunity to him. Then, without a clue from me, he described his steel needle in detail. The call was traced and was found to be a phone booth right off the boulevard. Our bird had flown, unfortunately, by the time the radio patrol arrived. However, before he disconnected, he told me he'd call back. Probably tomorrow.
Where are we?
This is the air raid shelter. Where Herman was found.
I don't remember.
No fooling. Herman.
What are we doing here?
Telephoning. Telephoning the police.
Are you kidding me?
Don't you wish? Got this farce. Doctor's patience is at an end.
What did I do?
You used the phone too much.
But Jim, I don't understand. I'm innocent.
Morning, Commissioner. Morning. Is there anything new? All quiet. There's nothing new. Your telephone was out of order. But a man from the telephone company...
A truly beautiful necklace. For 750, you have a sale, madame.
Oh, but I'm afraid it's worth
Double. 1,500.
all right.
Very good, madame. But you want the amount by check or in marks?
Mark, I may leave town tonight, and the banks are already closed.
Nitro. You're lucky to be alive, Commissioner. If it hadn't been for this cabinet, you'd be cold by now.
It had served me right. His wife is expecting her first child. I suppose I should really be accustomed to this kind of work. This routine. I murdered him.
Sir, why so?
3 persons heard a lie yesterday. I wanted to goad them into action. Which one? Mind reader? The insurance guy? Or the frightened female?
Why aren't you honest with me?
Oh, I don't know what you mean.
You sold this necklace today, didn't you?
I see you're having me followed.
I feel responsible for you. What's more, my friend furnished a full and complete report. 4 different flights on 4 consecutive days to 4 different cities, and in each case, you never gave your real name. What's it all about? Why?
Oh, please don't ask me.
What's pursuing you, Marion? You'll feel better if you answer. It'll help you face up to it.
Don't ask me. Please don't ask me.
You know I won't insist, Marion, but I'd like to lend you some money nevertheless.
I don't want any money. I don't want to borrow any from anybody.
You can't mind taking this, can you? You mustn't feel that you have an obligation. Now, you must take it. Come on. Oh, I give up, still. I'm glad we met. I only wish that I could have helped you some. There's no way of knowing if we'll ever meet again. I leave tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
First, you must promise a favor, Marion.
Of course, if I can. Anything.
Let's try to make our last night happy. Moping around in a stale room. The world's a fabulous place, Marion. We'll order a bottle of champagne. We'll go dancing. A nightclub. Music. I drink a toast to our next time together. All problems are taken to the check room right out there.
Oh, to the next time.
Wonderful guy. Prince. Typical Scorpio, that fellow. What are you?
Oh, I don't know. I'm for fun.
Ouch. Why don't we twirl around?
Oh, absolutely.
Like to dance?
Yes, very much. I used to.
I can't help feeling that essentially you're a cheerful person.
Oh, I used to be very gay and cheerful. I used to love to laugh.
Why don't you try to smile now? I knew you could. That's much better. Come on, let's dance. Admit I've helped you not to feel quite so morose.
Perhaps.
You're just wonderful. Like this, you're a different kind of person. Marion, come to Paris with me tomorrow.
Paris? I can't go to Paris. Don't misunderstand. I'm not being a prude. I might like to very much, but I can't go away with you now.
Why not?
I'm not really free. I'm married.
You love your husband.
I hate him.
It's fun, isn't it?
Sorry, I'm tired.
seat when the lady returns. Tell her I'll be back right away.
Yes, sir, I will.
He's carrying a pistol in a shoulder holster.
You sure?
Are you kidding? I got black and blue flesh to prove it.
Of course, you'd certainly try to divorce him.
Burial. But he won't consent to a divorce.
I still think a financial settlement would help.
No money. Money can't help me get away. Please, don't let's talk about me. Tell me something about you. About your life.
Not much to tell. Meetings, conferences.
And
That too. But I wasn't very serious about it. You see, when a man has to travel the way I do, always going somewhere. Conventions in Rome, board meetings in London, practically living on planes. What did you expect? Women are brief diversions. No one has ever interested me. No one.
no. That's
It's not sad now.
Mr. Travers, Madame, this just came through for you.
What about the check?
The lawyers must have.
See that it's stopped.
Yes, sir, I will.
You see, you can't just switch off. A while ago, we were dancing. I thought maybe I could run away from myself. But I can't. Nobody can. We each have to go our own way.
Mary.
I only bring people unhappiness. If all this had happened 3 years ago, I wouldn't say it. But now we're just fooling ourselves. Thank you for loving me. I'm sorry I spoiled it. Please forgive me. It's better this way. And forget me.
Do you want me to forget you?
I do.
A companion for you. What do you think?
I could not see when the disaster itself would happen. I said it was in the future. I felt that you had certain plans which were not proceeding well.
Yes, and the broken fragments of glass I got a cut from. And what about that truck we almost hit? Now this at the Aurora Works. Don't you have an explanation for all of this?
I can't explain what I don't understand. Too bad. The explosion must have been a great financial blow to you.
The explosion at the Aurora Works came a bit too early. You know, if I hadn't gotten this, I would have sent a check out. I didn't.
You mean you didn't deposit it as per schedule?
I managed to stop it in time.
I'm blind, but bright lights, I feel, can be very distracting. And I want you to concentrate with me. You must leave town immediately. Something has crossed your path. I see a figure vaguely outlined. It's either an animal or a human being. It's getting clearer now. The figure is a woman. Yes.
What about her?
Wait. She's fading into the night. And what I still see is completely blurred. But the danger is there, danger to you. The life you have saved is threatening yours. It means death for you.
Whatever her reasons are in booking 4 different tickets, eventually we'd hear about it. It's most confusing. Oh, well. We'll continue. Notify Interpol. Please furnish report on missile strike from Lloyd's of London, Assurance de la Paix Paris, and other companies.
Hello, Commissioner. An informant just told me she phoned the travel bureaus. Apparently all 4 flights are canceled.
Is that right? Well, maybe Marion has just found out about the wealth of our American. Seems like the only obvious explanation so far. Interesting. That reminds me. I want a copy of last year's tax return on this guy Cornelius. Hello, Cornelius. This is Cross. Everything's the same.
Didn't that man call the one who had the information about the steel needle?
No. I doubt if he could. You see, my telephone seems to have exploded. A little plot to kill me. The man who came to fix the phone yesterday did a somewhat faulty repair.
What did the man look like? Can he be identified by someone?
Yes, I guess he could by my assistant. But he's dead, Cornelius. What about predicting these things in advance?
I don't understand. Am I supposed to have prophesied your death? You're still living, aren't you?
You did it in the Barter case.
But the Barter case is completely different. Barter is actually dead. I can sense your distrust. You're a skeptic. However, I would like the opportunity to convince you. I propose to hold a seance this evening. The guest list will be up to you. You may invite anyone you want.
You can't believe in all of this humbug.
Michael, you know I'm almost too suspicious about everything. It seems to me that there must be people in the world you can pin your hopes on.
A mind reader? Or a certain female?
The old mind reader is harmless. My only concern is doing what I personally think is right. And he certainly can't alter anything.
So you'll be remaining here?
Yes, I'll join you in England tomorrow. When you arrive today, however, find out what you can on the Arar explosion and promptly report on anything that you can find out. Just a minute, Michael. You can take this. Go downstairs and pick out 50 red roses and send them to Mrs. McNeil with this letter. Now you be off. Come in.
Excuse me, Mr. Travers. I'd like to speak to you privately about something.
Well, what is it? What's it about?
Mrs. McNeil. Mr. Travers, you can believe this or not, a human being's affairs are something very sacred to me. But I do know how much you're interested in Mrs. McNeil. Having the lady watched, of course, has its limitations. I mean, what have you learned about her so far? She rarely moves from her apartment, telephones a bit, and of course has visitors. However, perhaps I can fill you in. Putting it bluntly, I'm in a position to help you.
What's your fee?
I know you'll be generous in paying me, but there'll be plenty of trouble if anybody knew.
Okay. I'll listen.
You must understand, I'm not going to tell you anything. Follow me and I'll explain everything. Won't you come with me? Here, this way. This apartment is right behind Mrs. McNeil's. A jealous husband lived here about a year ago. His wife stayed next door. Well, he didn't know for sure whether she was deceiving him or not. I was able to help him to find out with this little technical device. It was very successful. She was caught in the act, so to speak. Shh.
you hook this up for me?
I'll get it. Look, madame. Beautiful red roses. I'll go get a tall vase.
Isn't this something, Mr. Travers?
Please stop this appalling spectacle at once, Berg.
But, Mr. Travers...
Just stop. I'm hardly the kind of a man who finds spying very charming.
Yes, sir, Mr. Travers.
Now, please, Berg, get this place boarded up. Say I'm renting another apartment as a convenience to my friends and for other business affairs.
Anything you say, sir. Your key.
Hello.
How are you? I hope you're feeling much better. I'd like you to go with me tonight to a party at a clairvoyant's home. Fine. He's promised a stimulating telepathic seance. Oh, you can come right after dinner.
Hello, Commissioner. Oh, if you're busy, I can wait outside here.
I'll call you again later and give you the address. Right.
Freshly painted walls. Certainly is a perfect
Yes, I guess it needed fixing up a little bit. Everything was one big mess.
color. If you're busy, I don't mind waiting.
No. It's all right. Sit down. You said you were interested in astrology.
Oh, astrology for me is everything. Oh, your wife?
Yes. Would you like to go to a seance with me? It might be an interesting experience.
Oh, certainly I would like to. When?
This evening at 8:30. I imagine it'll be very instructive. I'm bringing my wife along. May I introduce my wife, Cornelius?
It is my pleasure, madame.
My assistant, Kaiser, and Miss Hiltzweig.
Euronymous P. Misselzweig. P is for punch.
Miss Hiltzweig has a great talent for the occult, especially astrology.
Oh, no. I haven't, Cornelius. I'm strictly an amateur. I should have remembered. All rays in the sun are going to overcome Neptune to produce water, which means rain will come. I should have brought my umbrella. He's a beauty, isn't he? And sharp. Come on, doggy. Your uncle has a little goodie for you. Tara, be quiet. Fine-looking animal that's so well trained.
Mrs. Medea? This is Cornelius. My wife, Mr. Kaiser, and you know Miss Hiltzweig,
I
don't
do.
you?
I hope I'm not too late.
Oh, no. We haven't started yet. But please, let us commence. Won't you be seated? Please, you must try to concentrate intensely. I'm not going to try to continue very much further. Feel such pain. An influence. Inspector,
Yes?
would you mind if we exchange places?
Why not?
Yep.
sorry, my friend. That was clumsy of me.
Let's see if you crush my cigars, the Coronas. Oh, too bad. Say, you should pay for these. They were fine imported cigars.
Will you excuse me?
Let us begin again. But wait. In the room is someone who has joined us. Under false pretenses, I see a hand, a woman's hand, and a ring that does not belong to her. A tragic fate tore the man she loved from her side, but he was not alone. Another one. Besides this man, a busy intersection. And now, the man picks up a gun and fires. The first man slumps over the wheel.
Peter, Bart.
There is someone here who saw him before he died. And someone else who will avenge his death. His experience will be harrowing. A woman is driving him on. Now through the fog, I see the face of a dead man. Yes. Yes, it's coming. It's in shadow. This is shattering. It shouldn't be. There. I can see him now. Mabuse. Dr. Mabuse. Oh. The mystery has begun. Now, he's here. He's here. Outside the window. Glass! Get back from that window. Turn that light off.
The shot must have been fired from that room through the window. Come on, if we hurry, we can catch him.
I can't stay here any longer. Mr. and Mrs. Spy, would you please take me back to the hotel?
Oh, yes.
You can't leave
There
me
will be
all
no
by
more
myself.
danger. I can assure you of that. I apologize profoundly. The butler has made some light refreshments. It might calm you. Oh, Cornelius. I must say you're really accomplished. It's enormous. It's so astounding. Oh, yes. You mentioned some very peculiar name. Dr. Mabuse or something. I wouldn't know. I never remember anything afterwards. Oh, forget about it. Oh, one thing, Cornelius. Is Commissioner Cross going to enjoy a long lifespan? I'm not omniscient, Mrs. Zweig. He wanted to buy life insurance for me, but I'm careful. I'm forced to be in this business. Please, Mrs. Zweig. That's a preposterous question. Oh, thanks. I'm sorry. Huh? No offense. The shot was fired the moment your clock was starting to strike 9. That's odd. What's so odd about it? It's not right. I noticed it before. It's late. I'm sorry I forgot. You're blind. I'm still upset I didn't see who shot at us through the window. Fellow must have been some kind of a maniac. Well, Commissioner, you find out anything?
Nothing. My assistant is still out combing the neighborhood. But I think it's hopeless now. Cornelius, my humble apology. You know, whoever fired nearly got me. Without your warning, I would have been a choice target for a bullet through the head. Strange. That's the second attempt on my life in 48 hours.
Not so. You're making an appalling mistake.
You think so?
You forgot who that chair was first occupied by. Their plot was to kill me.
Thank you for the beautiful news.
Marion, come in.
I was so lonesome in my room. It might sound childish, but thunderstorms frighten me horribly. I hope you didn't mind that I came in. The door was open.
I'm delighted. Come in.
Did you really stay because of me?
Of course. Before I'm pulled back into the business world with a vengeance, I wanted to ask you one more question.
Yes.
Do you prefer whiskey or cognac?
A small whiskey, please. Straight. Is that the question?
No. There you are.
To your house.
To us.
The question.
If you were free, would you marry me, Marion? Husband or not? I'm in love with you.
I think I should tell you the truth, Henry. The whole truth. My marriage is a fiasco. My husband is possessed with almost maniacal jealousy. I think it's because he's physically handicapped. Oh, nothing, just a leg injury. Doesn't bother me. But it's the psychological reason for his jealousy. He still feels I'm unfaithful to him. He often beats me to force me into a confession when I've never done anything.
You've got grounds to go into court. Grounds for divorce.
I've already told him we should separate often. He said he'd rather kill me than let me go. A year ago, I simply ran away from him. I had to. My nerves were at the breaking point. I spent some time at Dr. Jordan's clinic. He's an old friend of the family. He knows me. But before I was really well, my husband came and took me back. The old torture, the threats, the mistreatment started all over again. 10 days ago, I lost my head. Nothing mattered anymore. I bought some poison. I wanted to kill him. But he found out about it and almost beat me to death. I ran away again. I didn't have any plans, nowhere to go. So I came here to the hotel. But he traced me here, too. He wired me to come back at once, or he would expose me.
It frightened you.
I didn't see any other way out, except to kill myself. So now you know everything. Do you still want to marry me? A woman who tried to poison her husband?
Marion. Hello?
Where is Mrs. Menil, Mr. Travers? I must speak to her.
For you, Professor Jordan.
Professor Jordan? Yes, this is Marion. What? Since when? Oh, my God. 10 minutes ago.
What is it?
Yes. Yes. Can you stay at the clinic? All right. Thank you.
What's wrong?
My husband's on his way to the hotel. He'll be here any second. He can't find me here with you.
Stay here with me, Marion. You'll be safe.
I can't get you mixed up with this. You don't know where I've been. Please, let me go. Only if you don't hear from me in half an hour, please come to my room.
Marion!
Still raining out? Do you want me to ask Val, huh? Why don't you give me a refill?
Who is it? I'm ready to go to bed.
Open up,
Good evening. I'm sorry if I've been so cruel and heartless as to upset you by coming back into your life, my dear. Really, you know, a loving and faithful wife should look happier to see her husband.
What do you want from me?
What do I want? I don't think I'll answer that question. But yes, your recent behavior was stupid.
It was dumb, thinking you could just run away. Especially since you knew I would follow you.
Trying to poison me was even more foolish.
You look nice going to prison. You wouldn't get out for years. You'll never be free of me, never. Lovely.
From him, no doubt. After your theatrical suicide attempt, the papers were full of you and your new lover. I know you must show your gratitude. He did save your life.
You may pretend you're hopelessly in love with him, Marion.
But the bedroom is all that you care about.
Sex is love as far as you're concerned. Isn't it?
You brute. Please stop. Don't destroy them. Please.
There. Don't tell me you fell for the guy. Tell me the truth.
Yes, I love him. And I love him just as much as I hate you. Not for a second do I regret that I wanted to kill you. You're not a man. You're an animal.
There, darling. Gently. You won't be so appealing to the American after your face is all scarred. You'd better start praying.
Jordan! No, don't look. How did you get here?
I was watching through that mirror to the next apartment. I had to stop him.
Do you think anybody heard the shot?
I don't know. Not a soul out there.
I'm going to phone Dr. Jordan. He'll know what to do. We've got to do something. I'll tell him to come over right away. Professor, this is Marion. Please come over to the hotel. There's been an accident. Yes, Roberto. Please hurry. Maybe you can still help him. Thank you. He's coming right away.
Ah, Mr.
Where's
Roy.
my cognac?
Don't worry, I didn't forget.
Well, okay. It's terrible out. Arch!
Yes, doing tight.
I've got it. I wouldn't let a dog go out in this weather.
Oh, Dr. Jordan, thank heaven you're here. I shot him.
No, Professor, I was...
It was self-defense. There's his knife on the floor.
Dead.
I didn't mean to kill him. I didn't mean to. Help me, Professor, please. I don't want to be alone. Please, please, help me.
There, don't worry, Marion. I'm going to help you.
Listen, Professor, believe me, I'm the one who's guilty.
Then we are both guilty, Mr. Travis. I've known he was a dangerous man. Only I hadn't bothered to phone. police know nothing about this. I've got an ambulance outside. It's all right, it's from my clinic. If only there was something we could do. Somehow get the body out of here. It could be someone suffering from a heart ailment. I could say death was caused by a fatal heart attack. But it's too difficult for us to pull off.
Not if someone helps us. There's a man connected with a hotel who'll do anything for money.
Well, nighty-night. I'll sleep like a lamb.
Gesundheit.
Thank you. Say, Pete, have you got a spare raincoat for me?
I saw one in the locker. I'll go get it for you. Here, this oilskin should do.
Perfect. Thanks very much. I'll bring it back in the morning.
There's no rush.
Good night.
Good night, Mr. Mississippi.
Just a slight heart attack. There's no need to be alarmed. After a couple of days in my clinic, he'll be as good as new. Of course, he must rest afterwards. But it's nothing serious, madam, I assure you.
$2,000 cash for you, Berg, if this little matter's forgotten. You understand, don't you?
Oh, very well, Mr. Travers. I think it's wise. I can see why you wouldn't want to encourage any more publicity.
When removing him, you'll use the back way.
Don't worry about it. I'll use the freight elevator.
And the broken mirror?
Half an hour will fix that. I'll wake the hotel engineer immediately. He's a personal friend of mine.
Get away. Get away.
No siren. No blue light. And make sure you don't speed. Here, take this. I'll be right behind you in the car.
I've known Professor Jordan since I was a child. I knew he'd do anything for me. What if I had said that you shot him?
I can't help it. I feel like a coward. I don't like hiding behind a woman's skirts.
If he hadn't knocked the gun out of my hand, I'd have shot him myself. All you did was save my life. For the second time.
Nevertheless.
Just an hour ago, in this room, you asked me to marry you if I were free. Now I am free.
Well, it worked. Turned out just like the doctor said it was going to.
Yes, exactly.
No!
Hello. What do you want?
Patrol Car 5 has just reported that there seems to be some kind of a peculiar disturbance. I thought you might be interested.
What do you want me to do about it? Pilot with the sergeant on night duty.
Good night.
What? Transmitter. Police records on Dr. Mabuse. Then all of a sudden I saw a glow in the window. I knew it was a fire, but I didn't think anybody was living here. As I ran up the stairs, this man bumped into me on the landing. I told him to stop, but he kept on going. I didn't have time to chase after him. Well, now I'm kind of upset that he broke away from me. I'll bet he was the one that started it. Well, then there was the stiff here in the room.
Right in the heart. There's gasoline all over. They tried to cover it up by burning the place down.
These curtains were on fire, but I pulled them down, there and there. And then I stamped out the rest.
Any papers?
No, none.
very good of you to let me barge in on you so early in the day, Mr. Cornelius. But where's the dog? He's not here.
He's at the veterinarian's with a minor ailment. What can I do for you, Mrs. Stein?
It occurred to me that I might just possibly be able to make a deal with you.
With me? What sort of deal?
Oh, I can assure you, I'm not after insurance. I wonder if I might smoke a mild cigar.
Please.
I know it's a filthy habit, but I'm an addict. Oh, pardon me. I was testing your reflexes. You're not so bad as a catcher, especially with your handicap. You're really supposed to be blind, eh? Very good. You've got talent. The way you predict people's death. Mind the unknown. Very attractive. And those white contact lenses. I laughed when I saw it. Probably you saw it in a film. No tricks, Cornelius. I warn you. The telephone rings soon. A friend of mine. I hope you're not upset, but I gave him your number. Merely a precaution against trouble or unpleasantness.
What do you want from me?
I want you to cut me in. I'll split with you. At the seance day before yesterday, I worked out a scheme. I want to sell more life insurance. But it's tough to convince people. But say you predict that a guy is going to die and his family isn't insured. The guy and I get together. Mission accomplished. I'll get it, Cornelius. Yes? Yes, I'm still here. No, don't bother. There's no problem. Sure. I won't be very long. No police. Don't worry. Oh, this guy Cross. I'm still wondering if he wanted to drag me to that seance because of you. He wanted me to make a wrong move. Well, I did spend the last 2 years in prison. For an insurance swindle. But I think we can pull the wool over his eyes any day. You will give our discussion some thought, won't you, Cornelius? You have a partner now. 50-50.
The bullet taken out of the chair of that mind reader and the bullet lodged in the heart of the dead man are of the same caliber and have exactly the same markings. There's no doubt about it. Both were fired from the same weapon.
Interesting. Thank you.
Sure. Hello.
Heard from Misselzweig yet?
It's early. His appointment isn't until 11. I've got the report about him. Misselzweig, Hieronymus P. Highest references from Lloyd's, London. No previous convictions. That's it.
I'm not sure about him yet. Ah, Misselzweig.
Punctuality in person. Good day.
Hey?
Richard.
Say, what's the matter with your right hand? You having trouble with some woman, maybe?
No, Commissioner. I think you're just pulling my leg. A dog bit me. You ever been bitten by one?
No.
You're fortunate. It's really awful. Last night, I'm walking along the street when this big mongrel decided to attack me. He bit a chunk full. However, I'm an animal lover. So dogs are all right by me. You wanted me to be here this morning? What's it all about? About the shooting or something?
No. It's about someone's death.
Well, yesterday a soldier of fortune. Today a bullet in his heart.
What was that?
What?
A bullet in the heart, you said. You couldn't know that.
Come on, Commissioner. I'm quoting a song I learned during the war. An appropriate touch. That's all. Shame. 1 minute the fellow's walking about in the hotel. The next minute he's number 4. In the morgue.
You sound like you knew him.
No, I didn't meet him formally. I only saw him in a Luxor elevator. I remember he had a club foot. Didn't? Sure. He went up to the floor where Mrs. Menil lives. I suppose you know Miss Menil is checking out, so the bellboy reports. She's leaving for America, it seems. Just thank the professor, and we're ready to leave. What's the number?
415-517.
4, 1. Tell me. You called last night, and I was sure you dialed 3 numbers. Isn't that right?
3, you must be mistaken. I've known the professor's number for years. 415-517.
There's something else bothering me. Funny how the professor could get here so soon. Just minutes later, as a matter of fact, and with an ambulance as well.
Don't speak. Don't talk anymore. They see and hear everything.
Who sees and hears?
Later. We can't stay here. We've got to get out of the hotel as quickly as possible or we'll be lost.
You're just not making sense. What is all this?
Up there. Television cameras. They're all over the hotel. Everywhere. In every room. In the bar, in the restaurant, in the nightclub. They see everything. We've got to get out of here.
Now, Mary.
Please, for me. All right, I lied to you. I lied to you all along. But you've got to believe me just this once. Please, before it's too late.
Why?
Well, for God's sake, don't ask me. Come, before it's too late.
Come on. Well, 11, 10, 9.
Has Mrs. Menil checked out yet? Or is she still with Mr. Travers?
No, she hasn't checked out, and she is with Mr. Travers. Wait, I'll ring.
That's all right. Never mind.
Now, will you please tell me what...
They can hear everything. Once we get outside, then...
You're not going anywhere. Go in. Go in.
In there. You know the way, I'm sure. You've been down here often enough.
Travers? Mrs. Menil? Mr. Travers? Mrs. Menil?
They seem to be conducting a search for you.
It's far from amusing. She'll die unless help comes. She hasn't any hope anyway. After the doctor comes, he'll pay her back. Come on. That double-crosser has really fouled things up, all right.
She's so in love, even a blind man could tell. Ah, but you shouldn't have been so blind you couldn't see it.
Blind. Certainly you must realize we must be the last ones who know anything at all about this room. Except for him up there. Makes me feel sort of odd. I won't deny I'm worried about it. Look at Barter, the reporter that was fishing around. He surprised you when you were bugging Marion's room. In a matter of 2 hours, murder. Number 4, murder. And the last one, number 5, the fellow with the club foot, murdered. I wonder what he'll do when he finds out about the American mess. What's to prevent our being the doctor's next victims?
What about the circuit I installed? Huh? And what about those Gestapo plans which I provided personally? He's made a fortune because of me.
He needs me.
I installed. Huh? And what about those Gestapo plans which I provided personally? He made a fortune because of me.
He needs me.
What's the use?
From here, he watches every room in the hotel. Then he plays his role as a clairvoyant. He has seen everything, heard everything. My attempted suicide. The clubfoot and I, it was all fate. The pistol was loaded with blanks. You're not a murderer.
But what scum, what human could do this?
It was to bind you closer to me. After we were married in the States, then they were going to do away with you. A phony accident. Then I was going to inherit your millions, all the Travis industries. Then he was going to take over. His lust for power knows no end. I had to do everything you wanted. But I was going to tell you everything on the plane. Now it's too late. I love you. I know you can't believe me again. It's too late. Too late.
Both have completely disappeared. Berg's of the opinion they already left for their trip. But not one of the boys at the reception has seen them. The manager says their accounts aren't paid up. And Travers' luggage is still in his room.
Hold the fort down. I'm coming right over. You want to see me?
I've completed the autopsy on that clubfoot fellow, and I think you should hear the report. Death was not induced by a bullet at all. It was induced by a fine steel needle in the brain.
Open it. Close it after me. Make sure. And send the elevator up.
Yes, sir.
I'm extremely sorry, Mr. Travers, that you've been informed of my plans. We have both lost. I, an important gamble. You, your life.
This is infamous. You've got to help her. She won't live with this bullet in her, and you know it.
A painless death, Mr. Travers, and much faster than the one I had planned for her. She has wrecked us. We both suffer for what she did. You, because you believed in her love, and I, because I never thought it possible that a woman could respond to love under hypnosis.
Marion was under hypnosis.
How do you think she could have gone through that suicide act on the ledge, unless she were?
Tell me this. Suppose, for instance, Marion had managed to take possession of everything I had. What would you have used the money for?
I don't need money. I wanted to possess your atomic factories. Then, with your rockets, I'd have controlled the universe and sent it into chaos. I could have pushed the proverbial button, and I would have.
You're mad, Jordan.
Perhaps. A madman or a genius. Which is it? The same with Dr. Mabuse. The whole world was against him, his name, his plans abused. They didn't understand that he possessed great power, a plan for mankind. I'll not forsake his mission. He could have destroyed the whole world, controlled the universe. I must take his command over. I shall now rule the whole world. I...
My death is unimportant, but I'll do anything to keep her from dying. I know you can't let me go on with it.
But what can I offer you for her life? Name any amount.
I marvel at your craftiness, Mr. Travers.
It's your only chance to salvage anything of what's left of your plans. Name the sum, Jordan. I'll make out a check for any amount.
You underestimate me, Mr. Travers. A check signed by you would be certain disaster for me. And that's what you're aiming for, aren't you?
Just as I said, all our things are here. Luggage, coats, everything.
Was there anything in her room?
Nothing. It's all here.
I see they're quite baffled by your disappearance. And they won't find you, you know. Or at least it'll be too late when they do. This has been highly enjoyable, Mr. Travers. But I'm afraid I must go now. Here. You might find that a gun is a much better substitute than starvation. By the way, the room is soundproof. Sending Berg down. You wait here until you hear from me.
Yes, sir.
Every door and exit should be guarded, stem to stern, including cellar and attic. Kaiser, you stick with me. Guard that door and that door. There's no other exit from the lobby, is there? Oh, yes, there's a narrow passageway that leads to the kitchen.
Professor Jordan! Cornelius! Cornelius!
Get him, Terrell. Quick!
Well, he's Dr. Mabuse!
Dr. Mabuse!
3 men with me. The rest, see no one gets out. Get away from the wheel. You two over there.
Tie him down.
Too soon. Thought I was almost done for.
Never mind. Tell me who you are.
Interpol. What? I'll explain it later. I'll get Mr. McNeil in the American. That's the fellow you're after.
Drive around to the front of the hotel.
Cross. New gray limousine. American make. License GX 737.
Yes, put out on all points for a fast dragnet. New gray limousine American bearing license GX 737.
The police have a lead yet?
All patrol cars and highway control posts are ordered to stop this car and arrest its occupants. Warning, they are armed. Repeat, gray limousine, American make, license GX 737.
Switch the plates.
American car could not make out license number, just passing Millendom at high speed. Car has turned off in a southward direction.
This is Cross. He's Going south as far as I can tell, making for the Autobahn. I repeat, the Autobahn. The following code sent out. Sector 10 and all points leading south are to be blocked. If these fellows are tuned to the patrol cars, let's furnish a false message that they've been reported in Neustadt, right? And send me 4 heavy motorcycles also. Have you got all that?
Check.
Oh, one more point. Has that big fool they sent from Interpol reported in?
No.
Then what's happening over there?
Get in there, you. The key. How does it work? It opens another door. Come on.
Police, look out!
Sector and sequence never blew. Red strip before weekday 5.
Means the car is at Autobahn Southeast. Hooray, we've made it!
Gray limousine, American make. Believed to be the wanted car, sighted in Neustadt. All cars are ordered to proceed to the area immediately.
I told you we'd do it. Neustadt is 70 miles
Can't
from here.
rely on them. They're just trying to fool me. Hang on tight.
Dumbo, F79N.
If they are on the Autobahn, no one has been able to sight them yet. Probably they abandoned it around Route 56. That's about 5 miles from here. Make a sharp turn. We'll follow. There they are. Get going. Ready, men?
Police car and 4 motorcycles behind us.
How far?
About 500 yards.
Don't shoot. Let them come closer. I'll slow down.
400 yards. 350.
Now.